We are ready to add some spring color to our hanging baskets. We've got pansies and we have pussy willow branches.
But we do not have a centerpiece, so we're gonna head down to the garden center, see what they've got, and pick up some potting soil. I'm in spring flower heaven.
Oh, columbine, one of my absolute spring favorites.
I want these in the baskets.
Do you know what's funny is the yellow ones caught my eye. And what's great about adding perennials to a hanging basket is then you can just plant them out in the landscape.
See, this one, look at this flower. It has like 4 tails or 5 tails coming off the back of it. That's incredible. And then you get your yellow. But how nice would this be over the pansies?
Very pretty.
I love these. All right, let's keep looking for a second before we fill the entire cart up.
Just walked in, so let's look around. I think we found our centerpiece.
The variegated leaves on that are so beautiful.
Yes, these are definitely going to be a beautiful centerpiece, but let me find really like full ones.
Floriferous ones, let me see.
That really match each other.
Frost Kiss Dorothy's Dawn. I wonder if the Frost Kiss is because of the leaves like that? Really pretty. Look at that, so great.
Do you see 2 that match?
So far, I think it's these 2 here have the most flowers. Oh, that's a different color flower, Eric.
Oh, is it?
That's a red.
Frost Kiss and red.
I think I like this Dorothy Dawn.
Wait, which 2? These 2?
Those 2 have the most flowers.
I like to kind of look at the stems too, and we want to make sure they have the same like weight, so they hold the same space in the container. I think these 2 are a good match, right?
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I do love a Hellebore centerpiece for the spring containers.
I think they're going to be perfect. Let me grab a cart. What I also love about these is the foliage has that bluish tinge on it.
Yeah, it's a
which
very
I think
nice
is
color.
really pretty, especially in the spring. So these are going on the cart for centerpiece. We've got the pansies to go around. I got some pussy willow sticks at Trader Joe's. Do you think we need like one more thing between the layers of the pansies and the hellebores with the pussy willow sticks in between, or do you think 3 is enough? I kind of think simplicity is the keynote of design.
I kind of think that we've already looked at those columbine, and I think those columbine might need to pop in there.
My concern about the columbine is the similar texture to the pansy. Well, actually, we can try it right here. These are kind of the pansies I bought, so let's see how the columbine look with them. See if it's too similar. See, I feel like they'll get lost.
Turn the flower around. This is a judgment call.
I think that would get lost. I'm not opposed to adding something else, but that's why I was initially drawn to like the yellow.
I do like the
which
yellow.
is also really springy.
It is a pretty yellow.
But let's see if we can find another element that'll really pop against it.
Follow me. I see something, Eric. I see something. Butterfly blue pincushion flowers.
Oh, pretty. Ooh, these are huge.
Are they big?
Yeah, but I bet
Ooh.
I bet there's smaller. There's smaller ones over here we haven't been through yet. So let's walk around this way. Ooh, donkey tail spurge.
I don't think I care for that very much. That's weird.
You know what? I thought it was smaller versions of the rainbow ascot.
Oh, look at this little baby Virginia. That's cute. Okay, so we have decided to go with the pansies, the pussy willow branches, and the hellebores alone. We're not going to add any extra filler in today. Nothing is calling to us. So we are going to load up with our potting soil next, and then head home and plant.
All right, our choice of potting soil has always been Coast of Maine. We really like the one in the pink bag. This is Bar Harbor. This is 2 cubic foot bag, or it comes in a smaller 1 cubic foot bag. I think we just need 4 of these. I think probably 1 bag per hanging basket, but then some extra just to have on hand.
Just in case.
Yeah.
And they are nice and damp.
Yep.
The April showers are in full effect.
They sure are. I am ready for it to warm up. I'm ready for some sunshine. I'm ready for some warmth. I'm ready to be able to go outside and have lots of beautiful balloons all over the place.
One of the secrets to filming together is that one of us has to put all the soil bags on the cart and the other one gets to film. Let's go check out.
I may have had to load the soil, but he's got to pull it. We are home from Fadigan's, and I went ahead and took down our hanging baskets and brought them out front because it's so beautiful today, and there's like a nice little bit of spring sun happening. These containers, we've probably had for like 5 years at this point.
Yes.
I bought them, spray painted them black. Every other year I've given them a touch-up coat of black. They didn't need one this year. It's 2 separate pieces. There is a drain hole in there. And I plopped them on top of these 24-inch containers. These might even be smaller than 24-inch, right?
I think these are a 20-inch container.
20-inch, just for stability purposes. And before we begin, Christopher, I'm going to give you this little piece of frost cloth that I cut off just to kind of put over the hole so soil doesn't drain through. If you're new to our channel, you might not know that I'm kind of like the container king of the household. I'm a little bit controlling about it.
A little controlling about it.
So we are going to try to make these match as close as possible because there's just 2 of them in that window on the back. So let's start by adding potting soil. I'm going to dump some in while Christopher tells you about Coast of Maine, Bar Harbor Blend, and why we choose it.
Bar Harbor has compost, it has sphagnum peat moss, it has aged bark, and a mix of lobster and crab shell meal. It's wonderful. It's nice and lofty. We've been using it for years. It's great success. It always smells good. I know I say that and I sound weird. I think gardeners understand.
Yeah, there's a good smell to soil. And we are East Coast, Northeast gardeners. We're in upstate New York, so Maine is very nearby. So we like to use stuff that isn't too far away from us, right?
Yeah, it's not too far. I think, but the Bar Harbor, I believe, would be about 7 or 8 hours drive, though, because Maine's big.
Maine is big.
Maine's really big.
We're talking to one of our friends who lives kind of, where's Boise? Is that Midwest?
Boise is in Idaho. That's almost...
No, I know that, but Boise is West Coast?
I guess you could... Well, no, it's 9 hours in from the coast. As East Coast people, and East Coasters, tell me in the comments if you agree. When you find out how far apart places are on the West Coast, it just boggles my mind.
It's wild. Like, we are 2.5 hours north of New York City via train. We are a little over 2.5 hours, from Boston.
4 hours from Montreal.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of access to a lot of places very quickly. Like, we can drive to Philadelphia, we can drive to New Jersey, we can drive all these places quickly. So before I get this too full, I am going to dig my center well for my Hellebore centerpiece. I am loving the variegation. Well, I don't know if that's technically variegation, but Frost Kiss Dorothy's Dawn.
I like Dorothy's Dawn.
Ooh, and it says not preferred by deer, which is great because it's going to be up on the terrace. We definitely don't want deer up there. Working in these hanging baskets is fun. I like it because this cage gives you that visual to help guide you to make things even and centered and just a little bit perfect, which I enjoy.
Hellebores are always so root bound.
Look at that.
Why won't my hellebore come out?
I don't know. Would you like help?
Just trying to squeeze. It's not even moving when I squeeze it. You squeeze it. See what you can do.
Oh yeah, yours is tighter in there than mine was.
Thank you for your assistance. Look at that. That is a solid block of roots. And it's going to stay just like that. Hellebores like a little bit of root bound.
And what's great is these will go out in the landscape when it's time for summer annuals. I have a mix right here of pink and blue pansies. So I'm just going to alternate every other one around.
That
There's
sounds
10
good.
of them. I don't know if we'll need all 10, but we might as well because
This one says Spring Matrix Pink Shades and Spring Matrix Blue.
yes. And I know you're a big fan of the Make It Pink, Make It Blue.
I love a Make It Pink, Make It Blue. Favorite Disney movie.
Look at that. I like to just kind of place them first so I have an idea of how much space to put in between them. Like right away I can tell I've already put them too close together, so I can go back around and spread them out a bit.
Not me, mine were pretty perfect.
That tracks.
Okay.
All right, then once I get all these planted, I have these pussy willow branches that I found at Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's Spring Flower Headquarters.
Yes. I'm already loving the way this looks.
I am too. We have had a long winter. We've had a cold winter. And we are having a chilly spring so far. I don't see anything on the forecast resembling a warm spring coming up.
No, which is okay. It just makes, it forces us to slow down a bit.
We've had a lot of time to plan the outside garden this year. So anytime we have these opportunities to plant anything that's got a flower on it, any beauty outside, we are jumping at that opportunity.
Now, as we are planting these up, I'm thinking ahead in my head, like, oh, we got to make sure how we get these back up and when we water them in. And just a reminder, do not water in your hanging baskets until they are hanging again.
Yep, made that mistake a couple times. They suddenly get real heavy.
You sure do. Our whole theme this year with our annuals is pink and purple, which I think is fun. And we choose a color theme because it makes it a little bit less overwhelming if you kind of give yourself a couple of limitations. And you just choose something you know you're going to like. And then you can look at the garden center or look online with those eyes. And you can say, well, that matches my color theme. Or, oh, no, that doesn't. Even though I love that, maybe I'll do that next year. And that way you don't get that overwhelm of everything you see you want to buy.
Which I'm noticing, Eric, lately as we've been looking at things, we did choose a pink and purple theme. I've been noticing you being drawn to yellow plants recently. So I can only imagine if yellow might happen again next year.
Well, I'm drawn to yellow plants when thinking about pink and purple, only because I think it adds that certain little contrast. It wouldn't ever be a main component.
Okay.
As you're watching, I want you to notice the difference between Christopher and mine's planting style and the way we go about our workspace. I think it's funny. If you plant with a partner, do you have completely different planting styles? Of course, there's going to be a front and a back to these baskets, whether we like it or not, because it's
The nature of the
plants.
basket.
Yeah. Look at that. Already so springy.
Okay, I have to say, since I was thinking we needed more filler, I don't think we need more filler. The baskets,
I don't think we do either.
I think they're in good shape. Also, you may have noticed we're not adding in any slow release fertilizer or anything at this point. There's enough nutrition in the soil, and frankly, it's going to be too cold for them to put that kind of growth on anyway.
Yep, we're just doing this for pure pretty. These, I bought extra bunches because I wasn't quite sure how many we'd need, but I want to make sure that we use the same amount
Okay.
in each one. Little pussy willows flying everywhere.
Should we try to do one in between each of the rings?
We can start that way, but it's going to certainly be more. So kind of right in between the pansies and the hellebores.
Oh,
but
you know what's-
closer to the hellebore.
I was going to say the hellebore is actually a really nice thing to plant between because the roots are like a frog. like a
Yes.
floral frog. These are blooming.
So I've gone
beautiful.
around one time, and so now I'm just gonna go around again and keep adding. I like these little cages a lot because they make it easy to do things symmetrically, but we don't want it to be too perfect because we want it to look somewhat whimsical.
A little bit of nature. A little bit.
Yeah. What'll probably happen if we leave these pussy willow branches in as the weather warms up is they'll probably start to take root.
Oh, they will? That'll be great.
Yeah.
Little extra bonus there.
And then if we wanted to, we could plant them in a super moist area of our garden. But pussy willows get really big around here.
They really do.
There's a lot of them around. So if we had planned ahead, probably wouldn't have had to buy them from Trader Joe's.
I'm gonna stand far away and see what I think.
I think they're looking really springy and beautiful. What do you think?
They're beautiful.
I think so too.
Stay. Stay. Only one fits at a time and they're wobbly.
I know. One of the benefits of, or one of the beautiful things about these hanging baskets is they're rounded, but they're hard to keep straight up and down unless they're sitting on something. But you're doing great, Christopher. And it hooks on there. Oh, crooked. So sometimes, Christopher, what I like to do is if you lean under it, you'll see the hole, and you can line the hole up with the cross on the bottom.
Perfect.
I think that looks really, really awesome.
It's a much more efficient way.
It is. But I do we want to save ourselves as we're easing into the garden season. You know what I mean?
I think
We got a lot of work ahead of us.
It's going to be a busy next 2 months. And by that,
So
I
many
mean next
things.
4 months.
Yes, so many things are happening. We rearranged our furniture underneath here under the covered portion just purposely so we could access these hanging baskets better.
Yeah, we had the couch where Eric is standing, and we constantly had to move the couch forward when we were watering so he didn't get splash on the cushions.
Oops. Pussy willows are hitting the hook.
All right. I love the texture
I think they
of the
look great.
willow. It's just enough to give it some personality.
I am so pleased with them. Christopher's got the watering can. Our hoses are still not hooked up, if you can believe it.
Nope.
Oh, you know what, Christopher? I'm going to spin it.
Ah! I wasn't ready. I'm still
You know
not
what?
ready.
I
I think the branches are in my way. That's okay. This is the glamorous ending of our film.
know. Well, this is reality.
Okay,
We
that's
probably
good.
chose the wrong watering can. That's okay.
Let me get the other one.
This is a great shoulder workout for you.
It really is. Overhead presses are paying off. I think these are going to be wonderful. They're going to be with us probably for at least a month in these containers at the rate.
At the rate this spring is going, it's going
Yeah.
to be at least a month. But we should also show everybody what they look like from the other side, where there's a little bit more light shining on them. I think they look pretty amazing.
Me too.
Really happy with them. Nice, simple, ready for spring. So again, thank you for joining us today. Make sure to click like and subscribe. I'm Eric.
And I'm Christopher.
And we're Grow For Me Gardening.
Thanks for growing with us.